welcome everybody to our new roundtable. Well, actually, it's not new. We kind of just changed the name up a little bit, worked on some tech issues. We now call it the Skookum Session Discussion Group on Bigfoot Fieldwork. I think it's pretty catchy, to be honest with you. How about yourselves?
Yeah, man. Most definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you ain't got to lie, but, you know, it's okay. But I appreciate the flattery. Busted your balls, Jay. Busted your balls. Anyway, yeah, we got a new logo made up, and once this is all recorded and edited, we're gonna a logo will show, and about minutes worth of musical playing, and our faces will pop up. So we got a lot to do in there. So it's about time. John, it's about time. Oh, what do we have here? Well,
we got a face.
We have for the first time. This is an encounter. There it is. Oh, I love it. I love it. The Ripper. I love it. Beautiful. This is definitely this could be considered a freaking encounter. For God's sakes, it is an encounter. It's an encounter with a very subhuman type primate. But anyway, I was just filling everyone in, John, on our new format, our new title, our new logo, and so on and so forth. Few ideas for tonight. I know our main one is going to be Pareidolia.
Yeah.
In the infamous red circles. Well, you know, I mean, hey, we tell the truth, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, where's your coffee cup, by the way? Oh, I forget. Oh, sorry. That was sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. You know what I mean. Didn't mean to say it. Anyway,
yeah.
Let me introduce everyone first. I'm Jeremiah Fountain. You know, I hope you guys by now know most of us. We're representing On the Trail research group. This is our roundtable, and we also have On the Trail, the Search of Living Legends, which is our Witness Encounter show. Being joined tonight by my roundtable partners are Jarrett J.R. Kitchen. How are we, sir?
I'm awfully well. How are you fine, gentlemen?
I'm super. Glad you asked, sir.
Good, man. Good. That's what we want to hear.
Exactly. Sean Wilson from the Midwest. How are you, sir?
Better than I deserve to be. That's for sure.
Oh, come on now, Sean. You're a good man. We all know that.
Jesus.
I try.
And last, but certainly not least, and I am just in utter awe right now, he has shown his face at last. This is a moment to be remembered, people. So, you know, John, and you are much better looking than you are in your pictures.
Well,
I got to give you credit.
Any pictures past then, we're talking money past this. No, it's all good, man. I'm sorry. It's modern technology stuff. It's like, oh, right out loud.
All right. Well, I got to give you that.
You can see behind me what I'm into. So.
You can. Well, anyway, all right, guys. We're going to bring a few topics your way tonight. As you know, we're now affiliated with Deb Hatsville out of the British Bigfoot Research Organization. She's a great lady. You know, she loves having us aboard. She doesn't like a lot of American researchers, and you know, I'm not going to get into that tonight, but you know, she seems to really trust us. So we're going to be doing a lot of work with her.
No, but I can regular.
I told her tonight we would get into over there in Great Britain. They have they deal with the eye shine as old as we do. I don't think they really know what to make of it as much as we do. I know we all have different theories on it. So I told her we'd cover that for a little bit, so you guys don't mind. And then we'll get into our main subject. So Deb, this is for you. We're going to cover that a little bit, and just give me your feedback on it next time I talk to you. First off, do I believe these things? Let me rephrase that. No. Don't let me rephrase it. Do I believe that they have bioluminescence capabilities with the eye, and I'm going to have to say no. But I have had some weird experiences where I've seen eye shine without a light source, so I have no explanation for that. I also know that now we're talking, this is strictly a Sasquatch show, so I'm strictly talking Bigfoot here. It also depends on what type of light you shine in their eyes. I know personally I've gotten back red eye shine, I've gotten back white, I've gotten back amber, and I've gotten back fluorescent blue. So to me, that part of it is pretty much tested, and that's been tested in the field by not just me. I know many others who've tested it, and I believe a few of you gentlemen are some of them. I think it all depends on a lot of the light you shine at them, what color you're going to get back. I really do. That's my piece.
Jeremiah, can you explain the situations where you've not had a light source around these things? Can you explain what you were doing or whatever, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, can you explain the circumstances you was under to whenever you've encountered, like, a light source not around them and their eyes to be semi-bioluminescent? Explain to us what the hell you were doing whenever you, like.
Do you this is going to kind of cross the realm a little bit. How do I put this?
What were you doing? What were you doing whenever you saw these eyes that just shined to you without?
It was during the daytime. Okay, during the daytime, I was at my spot. All right, and I saw a set of red eyes through the brush, and they were just as if I had shined a light in their eyes. Okay, now maybe the sun had something to do with it, which it very well could have.
Can I ask, was the brush dark? The area it was coming from, was it like shadows?
It was like a little bit of mix, John.
Man, that really sheds a lot of light on it. That kind of helps me understand what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. But I also, there's another...
Kind of like in a scenario would be like it was back in a cave or something. Not to say it was, but...
No, right.
Back in an area that was dark enough that perhaps the ambient light, because that's what I believe,
Yeah, well, there's also another experience I had, which has nothing to do with the topic we're talking about now, where, I've seen eye shine. I don't know what it was, where there was a light source in their face, but I'm not going to get into that. We're going to save that for one of the episodes of On the Trail. But I truly believe that the experience I've had where there's been no light shine directly in their eyes, when I did see the red reflection, does make sense. That may have had to do with the sun interacting with the shadows, like you said, John, and the different color brush. Is that basically what you're saying?
Light would bounce off the back of some shiny leaves. Right?
There we have it.
There are leaves that will shine more than others. There is a reflection for your light source.
This is true.
And just something to add to it. That's all.
No, without a doubt. And like I said, I think a lot of it has to depend on the light you shine at them. I really do. That's speaking from experience.
Please excuse me while I'm finishing this up. She brought it in and she said, "Eat it before it gets cold." So,
but you better eat it.
I mean,
but yeah, that's from experience. That's not theory. These different color eye shines I've seen is from different types of light I've shined in their eyes. They got in different colors. But JR?
Yes. What?
Go ahead with your thoughts.
I was just thinking about it. I kind of think that you probably do need a light source to get an eye shine to glow, because hell, even a glow stick, or any like glow in the dark stickers or anything that's bioluminescent, kind of, that's not on the seafloor, really needs a light source to get eye shine. I remember one time I stepped out of my truck one night to relieve myself, and like very minimal light was even on. Like I think my interior light stayed on in my pickup for a few minutes, or for a few seconds. And like I stepped like toward the back of my pickup, and like down over the bank, I saw these green eyes. I was like, "What the hell is this?" You know. But there was like no light to really even make them shine. I'm guessing that it had stared at the light from my pickup. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
It's hard to say.
I mean, I at this point, I'm just guessing. I'm definitely not an expert.
None of us are.
Well, green and gold eyes aren't those deer?
Yeah.
I think this thing was a coyote or something.
But the green eyes I'm speaking of, John, are fit. That I've seen in the past. We're not deer.
Yeah, okay. We're cool. That's like a human being. All right. The old flash bulbs, and even with some of the modern flash bulbs, or the flash attachments, you will get red eye shine coming out of a human being because of the light. Yeah. All right. You've seen them all, man. It's like you make fun of your cousin, whatever, because of the red eyes. Okay, what's that all about? Is that primate? Maybe. Because a dog is different. A deer is different. Deer seem to be gold, as I remember, or maybe green. Dogs are green, but you can see both. Yeah, you can see red in a dog's eyes, too. So I think it's got to do with the type of light, and I believe that they can be done with just the ambient light, starlight, full moon. That's light. And again,
it is light.
It picks up, it reflects. Okay, what you guys saw, the red eyes, I think that's a normal thing. I don't think it's generating it.
No, and that's important. I mean, I know people have different beliefs, but do I believe these things can bioluminate their eyes? I don't. That's just my personal opinion. I don't. I mean, let's face it, they're not a jellyfish we're dealing with here. Do I think they have capabilities we don't get yet? Absolutely. But do I believe they can bioluminate? No.
That would go along with fire coming through their eyes and lightning bolts coming out of someplace else.
Don't they fly?
They do. Yes. That's
what I thought too. But yeah,
I've seen one in Class A one time. Yeah.
Anyway, Sean, I'm interested to hear your thoughts because, as I remember, you've got some good theories on this too.
Didn't you see that one time with the light coming out of his third eye, Sean?
Yeah. yes, I did. Yep. Well, my thoughts on the eye shine. I've never seen the eye shine from one of these things. I've seen plenty of deer and other animals, raccoons, and all kinds of stuff. But the Bigfoot that I saw, I stared at this thing's eyes for, it seemed like an eternity, and I didn't see any whites at all. No whites. It was all black. So I don't know if the thing is just a giant iris, or if they're really dark brown with the iris, kind of like some animals, and you can't, from 30 yards back. But I had my binoculars right on this thing's face, and they seemed all black. So
yeah,
I don't know. And if that's the case, if they've got giant irises for excellent night vision, then it seems that it would pick up any amount of light anywhere and be able to shine back. So that could explain it.
That's a good point.
If they're the infrared light, so
yeah.
If during the daylight, you got to think of something. If during the daylight you're seeing it look like black, the iris, in all rules and regulations, should be smaller because of daylight.
Right.
Follow me?
That's true. Any light.
But I have seen human beings who the whites of their eyes was gray. Now maybe it's a condition of some kind. Okay. I don't know, but I've seen probably a handful of people in my life that had gray eyes, which is a lot more people than I've seen. I've seen more people with grayish whites than I have Sasquatch. So
I would say the majority of witnesses see these things with all black eyes. There are a handful, though, that said, I've seen the whites of its eyes.
Yeah.
So could be different types, maybe. I don't know.
Why is it that? Why is it? Do they have solid black eyes? Like, is it just the iris that big, or do they like?
Is it dark brown?
Is it
I
like they don't have whites to their eyes? Are they just soulless, like the soulless ginger kids that have black eyes? Or
I'm going to quit eating ginger.
That's what it looked like.
my theory is that I think it has something to do with their night vision. You know,
I've often wanted.
but like you said, we have had reports where people have described seeing whites in these things' eyes up close. But my experience is, and John, is yours as well, all I've seen is pure black animal eyes in my up close encounters. Yeah. And then we hear the other story, John. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was chewed out for that yesterday. So no. Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is what I saw just seemed to be black, wet, brownish, fast. I wasn't able to hold on it long enough. It would just zip and gone. But it was long enough to say that I could tell there was a difference between one and the other, but it wasn't white. It was more, like I said, like the grayish maybe.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
I don't know. Look at an ape size. I mean, we're pushing all this over more towards an ape because that's what we can write. We got the body, of an ape.
Yeah.
Ape size. I think they're white, but
most of it, except for you're right. I know the gorillas are. I know most of them have whites. I think there might be a.
What about eye shine in a gorilla? Is that
I've never researched it, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I haven't either. Had I known,
so keep talking. I'll do that. While you guys
no. Had I known, I would have researched it myself rather than you going through the trouble of sitting there typing. I know you got to.
No, that's okay. But we also have heard stories where, okay, number one, we hear all black. Number two, we hear black. Now instead of where the whites would be, we hear about a dark, or less like a brownish. You guys know what I'm saying, right? And then we hear the stories of a human type eye, which I did an interview with a gentleman years ago that had an encounter in the Hockomock swamp of Mass who described what looked like an old man with pure human eyes. And I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "I'm telling you, this thing had human eyes." So, and that's not the first time I've heard that. I mean, we've interviewed people together that have said that.
What do they mean, human eyes? Like
human eyes, whites and all.
Human-looking eyes, just
whites and all.
Well, that's
I've heard that too.
Like I remember hearing an account one time where someone said that the thing had blue eyes. You think there's any?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I don't remember that, but I remember the guy from Mass saying that in the Hockomock, he described to me what sounded like a Type 4 or something along those lines, gray, but it had human, just bigger, okay? The bigger eyes, but with whites and all. And the iris. I don't remember what color he said it was, but...
Irish people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got look at the one that supposed that white one, the white Sasquatch that was darting in the dark from tree to tree. You have an exception. You have an exception to the rule there. If they exist, there's an exception to the rule.
What do you mean by that?
You had a white Sasquatch.
Okay.
You had an albino Sasquatch. So
but that doesn't. And white doesn't necessarily mean albino.
That's true. It would have to have pink eyes the whole bit.
That's right.
All right. But you have what I'm getting at is you have an exception to the rule. With the hair itself, if this thing was real, you have an exception, right? So, would there be an exception to the rule in blue eyes? Why not?
Why not?
So, just in the genetic things,
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you hear about the four-toed tracks and sometimes the three-toed. I mean, I think as far as that goes, that's genetic too. I mean, we see genetic deformities in human beings.
Yeah.
So. You know what I mean? But I mean it's definitely an interesting subject. A lot of it, like I said, I believe has to do with, aside from the human-looking eyes that we just described. I think a lot of it has to, if you're out there in the woods at the night, it depends what kind of light you shine at them.
Would you think that some of these damn things would have different eyes than some of the rest of them. Like some of them have like these huge eyes, or some of them maybe even have like human-sized eyes.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
It must. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
You got
Absolutely.
you got some with longer noses, longer snouts.
Mm-hmm. Even within the same type, they're going to look different.
Look at us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at 4 guys here right now, and this. I guarantee you, we all look different.
Yeah, you know, I mean, granted, we're all good-looking individuals, but we all look different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's something I can totally get on board with.
That's right. JR, that's a good point, man. I mean, even within the same type, I mean, you're going to see different shaped eyes. I had a meeting with 4 of our...
I was like huge eyeballs, like their eyeballs, right? That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yep.
You mean
I'm looking at my dog right now.
What?
Can I jump in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Since we've been talking about this, I decided to start kind of studying my dog. I've got a black lab named Jack. He's 10 feet away from me right now. I'm staring into his eyes, and when he looks straight at me, he's got big brown eyes. When he's looking directly at me, I don't see his whites at all.
Yep.
When he turns his head sideways a little bit or looks up, I see the whites.
That's interesting.
That could feel, because like what I'm seeing right now are big black eyes on my dog. That's probably...
Would that be an obstruction from the eyelid itself? Could it be?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. When he's looking right at me, directly at me, I don't see any whites. When he turns sideways, I do. It's strange.
So all we need to do is look.
I think that might explain why it's only black.
So all we need to do is to look in the mirror and check it out on ourselves.
Well, I think on ourselves we have different shaped eyes. This dog.
Oh, I do.
I think animals are.
Their eyelids shut different than ours do. Their eyelids do. They shut differently.
Yeah.
You know, and that could bring up maybe a Sasquatch eyelid shut differently.
Could be.
Yeah, we don't know about it, do we?
Here we go. Gorillas. Okay. Their eyes come in different. Okay. Depends on the animal, it says. The white around the eyes is called the sclera.
Yeah.
Just like you and I, this gorilla, Nadia, has no pigmentation. Now, in the case of this silverback that I'm looking at, he's got the black pupil in the middle, but nothing around him but yellow. No whites. Some of them, black pupil in the middle, nothing but orange. And this is without light. Okay, this is daytime. And then the other 2 I'm looking at have eyes just like ours. So there's a variation right there. But then again, there's 2 different species of gorillas. There's the mountain gorilla, and then we have the lowland. I don't know if that would make a difference in eyes. Possibility.
Maybe.
Guess it's something they have to look into.
Yeah. Well, this is all good. This is all good discussion.
It is. It really is. I think we always have a good discussion. I might be a bit biased, but anyway.
Environment. I mean, if you get to looking at human beings, again, environment. Eskimo. I mean, there are physical traits. Okay.
Yes.
Eskimo. All right.
Yeah.
I was told once that was just something that came into being through, we'll say, evolution. I call it adaptation.
Yes.
But your surroundings, your location, the weather, the sunlight, all of that. I think
absolutely
needs to be taken into consideration.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Same thing with chimps. It says here that chimps, depending on the chimpanzee, you're looking at different. I'm looking at one right now, and I'm going to try to screen share in a second. But this one has eyes like we do. You can see the whites perfectly, and the other, is totally different. You've got eyes that look like they're just black, like we were just talking about. And these are all daytime pictures. So, but it really makes you wonder. It does. What constitutes these differences? It's hard to say. But as far as that end of our conversation goes, I hope we gave Dev a little bit of information, but they're just the way she made it sound was they have a lot more questions about it than we do here.
Well, like the gene pool, I'll throw that in there too.
That's a good point too.
I mean,
that's a good point.
If you breed, this is kind of a parallel.
Okay.
Let's just say you had, let's say you had 3 different tribes of people.
Okay.
Redhead, blondes, and brunettes.
Okay.
Oh, I can see a joke starting.
I can too, and I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Okay. So you got redheads. You got redheads that run fast. They don't hear real well. They don't see real well. And you get blondes that they hear well.
Jesus, first safety. Make sure she's not around.
But they don't run well, and they don't see well.
Okay.
And then you got brunettes that see well and hear well. All right.
Okay.
Now, just because the blonde group does, and they're all guys, of course, naturally. Just because the blonde group doesn't run fast, they're going to be taken out. Predator.
True.
Just because the redhead group, they can run, but they don't see or hear very well, they're not going to be taken out as fast. So they breed into the brunette group that sees and hears well, and you've got a red auburn-haired group of people that finally come out that can run, see, and hear.
In here.
And
yeah. You're right.
And the blondes all went to Las Vegas or something. I don't know.
Probably Vegas or Reno, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, the closest I have found on here, the closest to our eyes are bonobos.
Bonobo apes, yeah?
Yep, which would make sense because up until a few years ago, we thought the chimp was more closely related to us. Well, on the contrary, it is actually the bonobo.
I'm writing it down.
It's like 99% of our DNA they share with us, as opposed to a chimp where it's 98. And I know, JR, you and I talked about that a little bit the other day, too, if you recall. But anyway,
You talked about the bonobos and the apes?
Yeah. Just our DNA relation to them and stuff, and if you recall the conversation.
No, that doesn't necessarily make us that we came, say, evolution out of them. That just means that our DNA is closely related to theirs in its ability.
I do remember this conversation. The chromosome.
Yes, the chromosome. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Glad you remember.
40 and 2 is what our closest relative, the chimpanzee's chromosomal makeup is. Ours is 44 and 2, so that's all I remember.
Yeah, but like I said, the closest thing I've seen to our eyes thus far is the bonobo. Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. I totally missed that. I understand.
The bonobo, which up until recently they thought was just a smaller pygmy species of the chimpanzee, which is actually a breed in its own.
Mm-hmm.
It's the newest great ape they discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the billy ape.
Size-wise, is that the one that's 5 feet, roughly? Size of a human being? Or that's a billy ape?
The billy ape's actually 6 foot, but they go 300 pounds too. So what you're talking about, a bonobo is a little bit smaller than a chimp, but it's weird because they're more closely related to us, and they are not aggressive at all like chimps are. And actually, watch a video on bonobos, and what they do to soothe each other is very interesting. And I'm not trying to get gross here, but they're very sexual.
TW, where are you when we need you?
They're one of the few animals that are known to actually, other than us and a couple others, do have sexual intercourse for pleasure.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not trying to get cute, but that's the facts.
That's true.
You know,
with a partner or just by themselves?
Yeah.
what's that?
Actually,
Well, I mean, probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to the zoo. I've gone to the zoo and seen the chimps. Yeah.
No, and that's a serious question, JR. I understand. I do get what you're saying. And, okay, height bonobo 3.8 feet, adult male. Max weight 100 pounds. Female max weight 66. So it's definitely smaller than the chimp. Now and what you were saying, back to what JR was saying. Okay. Now they do. And I'm going to try. This is going to bring me back to something else that we were talking about the other night. But the alpha male does have us picked in these groups, and they're like a bunch of hippies. The bonobos. They're the hippie of the April, and that's what it says right here. As opposed to gorillas and chimps.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Free love.
Yeah. Watch a documentary on it after, man. You'll be very shocked.
You guys weren't around then. I was. You know, like white hair is a sign of glory. You realize that?
Right.
Is a sign of what?
Glory. You realize that? Yeah.
And glorifiable. So
glorifiable. That's right. But I just think it's interesting. You know, I mean, as far as the eyes of as far as the bonobo being more closely related to us than the chimp, you know, it's just interesting to me. And you know, as far as all the great apes go, I haven't done much research on the billy ape, but I'm guessing they're the third. I think they're the third largest of the group. I'm not familiar with their eyes look like, but they have them. Okay, here we go. 5 to 5.5 feet. Looks like that of a giant chimpanzee. Can get upwards of 400 pounds.
And that's the what ape?
The billy ape, BILI ape.
All right. Yeah, we got it.
That's a big. That's big.
Stuff. Not supposed to be one that kills lions and stuff like that.
Yes, they have been known. There's actually a video you get online of them 2 billy apes killing a full-grown male lion.
Jesus.
So they're more in that aspect. They're more aggressive, like a chimp. You know,
they don't have clubs either.
No, this is with their bare. This was hammer fisting.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. As we're running out of time, unfortunately, I do want to cover Pareidolia a little bit. If you guys are game.
Yeah.
Always,
So,
man.
who is going to broach this topic first? I am passing. That's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for.
Let me just interject a couple things in what Pareidolia is. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Pareidolia, and many times you'll get it in a second, is used on a clinical basis. In some cases, it is used to look for, disabilities and mental disabilities. Now, I work with the mentally handicapped. All right. You will know this as when you see it on TV when they hold up these cards and the guy goes,
Flashcards.
Looks like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Looks like a butterfly. Everybody will see that spot differently because it's what up here that tells us what it is.
Okay.
All right. I'll look at a cloud. I'll see a dolphin.
Okay.
You'll see a chariot. And Sean may see a ship. And JR may see a plate of good food or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Off of it. But just because it is used to find psychological inabilities, traits, so forth, does not mean that Pareidolia is a genetic or any kind of a disorder.
No.
All right. Now, with that said, I'll go off on this. Where are these guys getting these red hula hoop circles and arrows? Because I would love to buy some to hang out there in the woods. I tell you what, I've seen so much of this stuff comes in, and it's like, what is this picture of?
It's you see a lot of it lately. And
a lot. And that's people wanting so badly to see a Sasquatch that they see it in the bark in a tree stump.
I gotta admit, I have been guilty of it once, and that was only because I wanted to show people within the group. And when I took that picture of that tree with that baboon-like face sticking out, it was
that was good.
You can really make it out. Okay, so I did put a small circle around it before I enhanced it. I did. So I am guilty of it. I am guilty.
Oh, we seen it.
Yeah, it's kind of there when they're looking for problems that someone may have,
Right. Perfect example right here.
I'm definitely guilty of it myself, and I've showed you guys that one picture, and I can still see something there, but nobody else really sees it. And it was a friend of mine that pointed it out. I sent him some pictures of my trail cam and what was going on in my area, and he said, "Do you see this?" And he circled it for me and sent it back to me, and I see it, but I know most people don't. It probably is nothing,
Well,
so I'm guilty of it too.
I think we all are. Well,
oh yeah.
You got to think about it. In some of these cases, in which seasoned researchers like ourselves can look at something and tell, even if it does have the circle around it, okay, that could be legit. But most of the stuff we're seeing being circled nowadays, let's face it, if you got to put a circle around it,
then you don't have nothing.
You really don't. And as far as I'm concerned, photographic evidence in itself, I mean, if there's no forensic evidence to go along with it, what are we going to do with it? Except show those that we trust.
Footprints and
You have to
everything.
throw your chopsticks away in the woods with it.
It's what?
You just have to throw your chopsticks away and just leave the turds in the freezer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about all there is to it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But true. I mean, it's photographic evidence. What are we gonna? You really can't do anything with it if there's no forensic evidence unless it's shared within a group like this where we trust each other, and that's basically what that boils down to. And John, I know there's other stuff you want to add, so just go right ahead. I can tell by the look on your face. I can tell that brain is just a wheeling.
I'm probably, I'll sit there and look at things to find faces. I'll sit there and just do that just because, it's like you just stare and relax your eyes. And
you'll see something.
And you'll see something. Stand there in the restroom looking at the wall and looking at the concrete.
Call Flores for a good time.
Formation, yeah. I know. JR was talking about phone numbers that he sees there. But
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no,
Informational.
that was another episode.
Information learned a lot from about these stuff.
I don't remember the number though, Jay. Sorry. But yes, go ahead, John. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's we're all guilty of that. I mean, but when it comes down to something like taking a photograph with, let's say on a trail cam, and there's obviously no animal there.
Right.
Well, it depends on how it's set in time, for one.
Sure.
All right. But the wind blows something. And all of a sudden, someone starts looking real hard because it's got to be a Bigfoot in the background.
Gotta be.
Got to be a face. Got to have been something, even if it was a bird that's flying and it's way up over here, in the corner of the trail cam.
No, without a doubt.
There's got to be something. But and then immediately it's posted. And it's like, well, what do you mean you can't see it? Here, let me put a circle around it. Let me put an arrow pointing to it. If they doubt where it is and they have to do that, of course, we just said that. If they have to do that, then what's the deal here? You don't have anything. Yeah,
right.
You don't. That's my.
I agree, and I don't want people to think we're trying to bash anybody because we aren't. We're trying to get the facts out there to y'all. I know one of our fellow researchers who's actually a really good guy. I'm not going to mention his name because it's not my place. Runs a group similar to ours. He doesn't allow anything like that. He says if it's circled, don't bother posting it.
Yep.
But
Makes total sense to me.
It does. And, unfortunately, with my big heart, I haven't reached that step yet. But
there's just a lot of people that want to see something, and they want to
see
be
something so badly.
They want to be a part of.
Right.
And I get that. I
do.
But
I do.
But don't push it. If you're going to do that, and someone goes, well, like I just did today, I think it's like, what are these pictures of?
Exactly.
And don't push it. I mean, and go, oh, what do you mean? Can't you see? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I see pixels that are this big. I see a fence post, and I see a limb jutting out of the side of a trunk that's probably this big around. And because you don't have a scale of depth, it's all one dimension.
Yeah.
I just always roll my eyes and go, here we go again.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but if you're going to do that and you figure it's heat coming at you, take the heat. And if, it's like I often say, if one man calls you an ass, pay him no mind. But if two men call you an ass, it's time to go price a saddle. All right. So you get it,
Agreed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being hard.
No, you're not. No. Would you say, Jay? I know it was something funny because I can tell by the look at your face.
What's that supposed to mean? People call me an ass every day.
Get a saddle.
I get it. I get it.
What the heck saddle at this day and age? Jesus.
Yeah. I got a McClellan. I'll sell you real cheap, boy. No.
I don't have a damn donkey or anything.
But like, we were saying, if you're positive, which you never can be.
No.
If you see a face there that you really believe is something, and here's the other thing. It's the faces that are being circled, but if you can find a body outline, that's a whole other ball game in itself. But then again, that can be caused by pareidolia also. You're like you said, John, your mind's going to show you what your mind wants to show you. Like I said, okay, go ahead.
I mean, just research the researcher, man. Kind of like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, research the researcher.
It's usually folks, I hate to say it, and I'm not being ugly, in these groups in Sasquatch, like there's some good stuff that comes out of it, but there's also a lot of new people in the field who just kind of dive in and out of it, and you're like, oh, Sasquatch and this and that and the other. But also the ones who are circling things are also relatively the ones who post this really crappy meme, believe in yourself even if no one else will. Like we've seen that like 47,000 times, man. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's cool.
Be all that you can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're all guilty of it. But John, I mean, do you remember the picture I sent you of it was a similar situation where a gentleman had posted, "Hey, there's so and so the juvenile," and it showed a face. Pareidolia. It was total pareidolia. Okay.
Pareidolia.
But like you said, damn, that must be a damn small one because it's the face is about the size of that baby maple leaf.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah. It was just speckles or what do you call it? Pixels. The way that they formed.
Exactly. I think it's just very important.
That's like you take two dots and a third dot in a triangle, and okay? We do not see in nature straight lines, okay? Even a triangle is a straight line. We don't see round except in a trunk that's laying there, all right? So if we pick up pixels, which are what? Square? Aren't they small? Square. Something tells me that they are going to sit in diagonally like a checkerboard to each other.
Okay.
You've seen people drive 10 penny nails in a board, and the further back you get, it's a picture of something, a horse or something.
Sure.
It's the depth that they drive them, and all right. I'm sorry.
No. Dude,
I just can't. Too much of that bombards me.
Yes.
And it's like, all right.
And I agree.
And I've had In 71 years, man, I've worked so many different jobs, and I've worked everything from photography to being in Hollywood movies to working with railroad equipment.
One of my favorite movies.
Aerospace, we heard about that. Doing art. I'll show you something. You saw it earlier today. I don't know what you guys are going to think of this. Like that?
I love it.
That is a coffee cup contest for, there you go, Cabin Coffee, my favorite place to drink coffee.
Dude, I want some of this coffee if they're sending you coffee now. Come on, man. I want some of this coffee.
All righty. It looks like Little Bitty Rabbit Pig. But yeah, no, Cabin Coffee, I think you can buy that online even. But yeah, they got a commercial. But see, I even did art. So there's
I'm glad you showed that, by the way, because, and not just mentioned it, because we don't need someone running off with their idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, you know what?
John Switzer.
I did see 3 pine trees, and that's what got me to draw on that, okay?
Okay.
3 pine trees with a Bigfoot, and I went, that could stand to be manipulated around and so
Sure.
forth. It doesn't look like it, but it's similar. JR's getting ready to draw a
He's
picture.
pulling something out.
he's gonna show us something he's done. There you go.
All right, everybody, let's get ready
dude.
for this Sasquatch thing while I take a quick drink of this Sasquatch coffee.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there you
we
go.
have some fun, man.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I think it was a pretty good discussion.
Yeah.
And like I said before, we are not here to offend anybody.
No, not really. Just make fun of them.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. Yeah, sometimes, when people have asked me, now, if I ask you a question, are you going to tell me it's a stupid question? I said, that's what the question is.
We don't. Yeah.
Just, joking, all joking aside, you know what I mean? But
we don't mean to be a lug nut to anybody, do we?
no, not at all. Not at all. We do not.
There you go.
We just try to convey the best info we can.
Dude.
So we
Yeah, dude.
offend.
Not trying to hinder anybody or put anybody in a bad situation, munching anybody or put the big gummo on anything, man. We're all being serious.
We've all been there. We have all frickin' been there.
We've all been there. I know we get funny. We joke around a lot, but at the same time, I hope we're getting across what we're trying to get across, because I will tell you, as long as the 4 of us have been in this field, if you don't have a little bit of fun with it, it's going to drive you insane.
Burned out, boom, and back in again.
That's right.
We continuously collapse in on ourselves as a group and bounce back out. Yeah.
That's my crowd, man.
I do that twice.
What's that?
I was just saying I do that twice a day. It's terrible.
I'm sorry, I still couldn't hear you. That would be my hearing problem and not my headphones.
I'm sorry, man. I was running my mouth. I was just saying that I do that like twice a day. It's no big deal.
Yeah, no, I got you. And like I said, one too many blows to the head, guys. Sometimes I'm a little slow, but anyway, I think it was a good discussion. I do, and we had an actual encounter on camera tonight.
Well, the
John Switzer, the elusive primate of Indiana, the Ripper. I mean, that's something in itself, right there. My God, I better get a picture of it. Good thing this is recording, and I don't have to circle it because no one will believe me.
There you go, size 13.
Oh God, perfect. All proven. Oh, great. We got you. We even got you in your own language. Great.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Now, John, Jesus.
It's that, Jay?
Dude, you can't wear moccasins on camera, John. I'm sorry.
I wasn't. I had them up here. Now,
Okay.
you want to see them?
No Moxicans on the group chat. Thank you.
No Moxicans across the border or anything like that.
No Moxicans. I don't need your Moxicans or your California bullshit, okay?
I'll leave now.
All right, we'll leave that one there. Guys, I think we had a great discussion. I hope as I think we got our points across. And like I said, not trying to offend anybody.
No.
We're just trying to help. Glad to have y'all with me.
If it seems like we're frustrated to anybody or get back at, we're not trying to dig at anybody. We're not trying to blow you off the screen or blow your post or anything like that. If anything, it's stuff that we know. It's stuff that we're trying to get across and trying to help. And I like to try and make people think about what they said.
Yes.
Sometimes it's sometimes too much of it's incomplete thoughts and incomplete sentences, and you jump on something when you shouldn't be jumping out of the box yet. Okay.
I agree. Well said, my friend. Well said. Well, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is our, we got our new title, the Royal Roundtable Session. No, excuse me, God. See,
Royal Roundtable Session.
It's called. I have a picture. I got to show you guys the logo. Of course,
Royal Roundtable Session of the Brothers of the Flying.
There we go.
Pickled Mothman, Bigfoot, Ape Finger, or something.
There we go. That's going to be our new logo. Okay.
Where's my moccasin's not on there.
Pretty badass, man.
What's that, bud?
That's pretty badass. I saw it the other day. I really like it.
Not bad, right? Not bad. So, yeah. Welcome to, this is the official first episode of the Skookum Session Roundtable Discussion Group. Bigfoot Fieldwork with Jeremiah Fountain, J.R. Kitchen, Sean Wilson, and John the Ripper Switzer.
I cannot believe you put that down there.
You knew I was going to.
No, I know, but you're going to have to live up to it, not me.
Oh, that's my pleasure.
The nickname for John is Jack.
Is Jack, yes.
And Jack the what?
Ripper. Absolutely. You're the Ripper. You'll
I'll do that.
That's what I love about you, John. You'll do that. I know you will. And there I go. I'm sorry again, guys. But
I'll do the best I can with what I got. Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you're very good as far as analyzing evidence, and that's what I love about you. You the way your mind works is very unique, and that's what I like about it.
I said it that way. I've heard it other ways.
Yeah, we've all been.
It all starts off with "you dumb goose," Anyway.
All right, guys, that was a good episode. Jay, you were about to say something.
I was just agreeing with John. I get the same thing here.
Oh, thank God.
Dumb assholes on.
Yeah, I think we all get it.
Yeah.
I think, but we're all to the points in this field where we really don't care.
I don't care. I was explaining it a while back about Sasquatch and like what they do. Like after she told me something whistled at her doorstep one night, and I was like, this, that, the other, and she just looked right at me. She says, "Are you smoking meth?"
Oh man.
Not tonight, anyway.
No.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
It's just Sasquatch coffee.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's right. But
when some lady's at her doorstep and something whistles at her, something tells me it's not going to be a Sasquatch. Or was that?
These are different. You have to hear the story from Jay. This is interesting.
Oh yeah. She gets home later one evening, and they live like out in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody around. There's no neighbors. This is where I was raised, at on top of the mountain. And she said something was like, like she said it was like right behind the barn, which is about 50 yards away. I was like, I told you, there is a damn Sasquatch up there.
And where many encounters are taking place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Do what?
Yeah. And that's the area that we'll be going in a couple weeks.
And what was she wearing?
I don't know. It was dark out. Jesus, John, I don't want to think about that.
Did you mention who you were talking about? And why you wouldn't think of it?
I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No,
I'm sorry.
That's classic. I love it. See, you gotta have a little fun. Hey guys, I think we were pretty well behaved tonight, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's nice, still young. It's only 7:15 here, dude. You know.
It is. I mean, is anyone else? I mean, technically we go in for a couple more minutes. Does anyone have anything else
I don't have a problem. We could go on for an hour for all I care. Yeah.
Kitchen?
I don't really have anything. Just the normal stuff, man. I think we covered it really well for Debbie tonight, and about the eye shine and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to cover that for.
Read up a couple things about some thoughts that that we know and theorize for sure. So
good. Sean, any last any thoughts, man? If you want to cover for about 5 minutes.
No, I think as far as the eye shine goes, I think we're all pretty much agreeing that they don't self-illuminate, that they're not magical animals with glowing red, fiery. It's from a light source, probably.
Yes.
I mean, we don't know for sure, but I think we all pretty much think that. And they've got big eyes, so and whatever kind of light hits it, it's going to give you a different color. So
correct.
And as far as the pareidolia goes, we've all seen things that could it be? I've got one in the corn. I've got I had a picture, and I can see eyes and a nose and the outline of a head really well, but most people can't. So it's guilty of
that again. If you
guilty of it.
Sean, I would love to see that thing again if you don't mind showing it.
Me too. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Man, I lost all my pictures. I formatted.
I've got some of them. Did you get the ones I sent you the other night?
Yeah, I got a handful. And
okay, I got more.
I posted a whole bunch of them.
I got one
to the JRG.
I got one I want to go get. All right, I'm gonna leave here a second. I want to go get it. You talk about pareidolia, okay?
Okay, John, keep it clean. Okay.
By the way, I guess your footprint's wrong. It was a lot better than mine. I just the Skookum thing.
Well, hell, shit, that's so good. It's so good. But yeah, in all seriousness, what do you guys think of that title? You like it or no?
No, yeah, I do like it.
Okay. Because before this is a group thing, and before we make changes or whatever, I want everyone to be on board. To anything. I'm trying to find a picture, and I finally figured out how to. I think I got the screen sharing down. This lady gave me permission to use this picture, so I'm not going to say who it is, but I am going to show the picture. And
let's see it.
Oh. 1 second, brother. I will. So let me pull it up. It's no circles involved, okay? But it's not blobby either, and it damn well looks like a silverback gorilla. So I think it's pretty legit. So I wouldn't necessarily call it pareidolia. I just want to give people an example of what we mean, because a lot of people out there have no idea what we're talking about when it comes to, pareidolia. I mean, you guys know that as well as I do. John, go on with it. You're going to go on while I do something.
Well,
go ahead, John. You
naturally. It's, I'll tell you what, I'll find it next week. Oh, God. Next roundtable, I'll start off with it. It's a picture of a tree. Hey, Jeremiah, I've sent it to you. The shadow is being cast across the creek, and what smack dab, do you remember? What smack dab is in the middle of that shadow of the tree, a trunk of a tree? But a hole.
Yeah.
It comes
If
up.
It's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it comes up, and it's got a hole in the middle of it, and it goes up. If I had it here, I know I'll find it in 10 minutes, but what it was,
of course,
it was the shadow of a tree being cast across the front edge of a boulder, the south side of the edge of a boulder, and behind underwater. And the back edge of the boulder was in the shadows as well. but it just happened to be where it would come up. It looked equal. It'd come back together and followed across the creek. I walked up and down that damn creek for probably about 6-7 minutes before I realized that there was no tree that had a hole in the middle of it. And I got down on the bank and looked, and I threw a rock, and it, of course, like that. But, oh, yeah, I kept that. I've got it here. I was going to show it, but I'll do it next time. You know,
yeah, that's fine. And like I said, I had another picture, John. I was just telling these guys about that I was given permission to use by a lady friend of mine from down south. She said anytime I want to use her stuff, go right ahead. I went. Now I want to kind of give the viewers the difference between Pareidolia and what could actually be legit.
Yep.
So I am going to try to, forgive me, audience, if I do not pull this off, but I'm going to try to screen share this right now. So I can. All right. PD, I'll call it, the file. So that way you guys don't see any pictures that you're not supposed to. Anyway, here we go. Let me give this a shot.
What kind of pictures?
Well, you know. You gotta think about that, John.
I know.
Right.
I kind of heard JR do a little rumble there.
Yeah.
I was waiting for something good. Come on, man.
Now, don't get me wrong. Half of you might y'all want to see, but the other half, trust me, you don't. And trust me on that one.
It's all good, man.
Okay, so share screen. Okay, start now. Okay, so here we go. 1 second.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
No, hold on. Here, be patient there. So
It's 57 degrees where you are.
It's I thought it was colder than that, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, yeah, it's like I think it's like 4 here.
4 degrees.
Yeah, it's got cold. It dropped down over it. Yeah, it's
here too.
Yeah, it's like spitting. And I don't know, Sean. Was it like spitting ice where you are? It's
we had an ice storm here. The streets are solid ice right now.
Yeah. So you're getting hit with it hard.
We did, and the city's not cleaning it up. So
we got the southern edge of it, but it wasn't. But like walking out into like a wet fog, you know,
right?
But you can feel it hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it coated everything, and the temperature started dropping. But it was like 48 degrees yesterday. And, this is January, man. It's January. Your worst month's January, February here.
That's warm for your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's average. I mean,
really?
I can remember deer hunting on a Thanksgiving, and the wind chill was 40 below.
Well, that's damn cool.
I was using a muzzle loading rifle, and I poured the powder, just spit patch, put the wad in your mouth, the cloth, and I poured the charge in the barrel, and I had that wad in my mouth, and I laid that wad across the barrel. I put the ball on top of it, cut it flush. I fumbled for my knife. I come out to cut it, and the ball was froze to the muzzle of the barrel. And just, so I went back to using grease at that point. And I think I was out there for probably about 45 minutes, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And 2 doe walked up, and I was sitting there, with a gun cradled across me, and I just looked at him. I said, "Get the hell out of here." And about 5 minutes later, my buddy walks up and he goes, "Man, I'm cold. Let's go home."
Right.
I was sitting in what a lot of people would deem a Bigfoot nest that I made.
Okay.
And I could crawl in under from one side, and it was really that the hill dropped down, so it was kind of built up the side of the hill, and it was a little bit over the ground level. So when the deer would see me, they would see the top of my head from the ground level. So it's like shooting out of a trench,
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? I built a Bigfoot nest.
That you did, and that totally proves.
And I've built a bunch of teepees when I was out in Colorado, and I built a bunch of brush huts out there, you crawl into and cover with brush, and we left them there. We didn't tear them down.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. So, I'm not going to say where it was or the region because there might be somebody want to go out there and go, hey, look, this is an ancient Bigfoot nest. Yeah.
True. True.
Anyway.
True. Well, unfortunately, guys, I have not mastered this technique yet. I apologize, but I can do this at least. You guys can see it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn it this way.
Got two of them on there, two different ones. Oh.
Shit. Hold on.
I see my reflection in that.
Yeah, I do too. Do you see it? Do you see it or no?
Yeah. That's your Bigfoot right there.
Do you see it? Okay.
I think so.
Let me get back a little. Forward. I wish I knew how to. Wish I could share this. I know we've been working on it, but look at it close enough.
I see John.
I see it back in there. Yeah. That's me.
No. Yeah. This lady sent me some really good photos. Okay. A lot of them. JR, I've sent you quite a few that she sent me. That was one of them. I think you know who I'm talking about. But the stuff she sends is not blobby, is my point, Not blobby, doesn't circle anything. And whatever that is right there, I don't know what it is. There's no proof that it's a Bigfoot, but at least it's somewhat clear and it's not circled.
You know what? That's the kind of thing that starts to get my attention.
Yep.
That is, my mission has been accomplished.
Now you've got my attention. So
okay, well I'm going to PM it to you too.
I'd like to see that. The first thing I start thinking is it's somebody in a suit, or it could be hoaxed.
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you the backstory behind it after.
Yeah. Then we get rid of all that, and then that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll send that to Ollie. I'll send you a bunch of stuff from her right now. But anyway, good session, guys.
Yep.
Good session. Pleasure is always perfect. In my opinion, we've got the perfect group for this roundtable. And like I said, next week we'll come up. We encourage y'all. I mean, John. What about the rest of you? You encourage people with no topic status?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, JR.
Next week's topic. Is that what you said?
No, I said, do you encourage people to throw topic status to cover?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. So if y'all, have any topics you want covered during the, in the next roundtable, simply post it on the trail.
Questions.
Send it. What's that, bub?
Questions, anything.
Anything, email us, whatever. You can reach me on the trail.jf@gmail.com. JR?
Yeah, mine is on the trail.jk@aol.com.
John?
Indiana JRGJS@gmail.com.
Now, sir, would you like an on the trail email address as well?
Yeah, I could put it on the back of that if I got enough white out. But yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I will even make it a special one. Sean and I have Gmail. You will be given an AOL like JR, and you two will be the special one out of the two out of the group.
Gmail would work probably best on what I've got.
Well, John, you're going to get whatever I give you.
Shorter the better. Yeah, but I got to remember it.
So, true. Anyway, Sean, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
onthetrail.sw@gmail.com. Email me for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, we're even if you're not interested in, coming on the show or talking about whatever, just questions. We're more than happy to answer questions. If you're having a problem dealing with these things on your property or whatever, and you want them gone, we do have ways to deal with that as well.
Yep.
We're get a hold of any one of us. We're all very close. You get a hold of one of us, the other three are going to hear about it, and we all work together. So,
and if you get something that you're photographing, it'd probably be. And I'm not trying to harp on anybody. I'm really not. But if you get something that you're photographing, don't put down there, what do you think of this? Because somebody's liable to tell you. Okay, word it differently, such as, I'm not sure what this is, or is it pareidolia? Is what do you guys think? Mm-hmm. That comes across a lot better, and you're going to get really good answers from more than just us. I feel we got a lot of good people out there. A lot of good people.
We do. So, with that being said, unfortunately, we had to end this session, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, we'll be recording the episode 2 of the Skookum session. So, we'll think of a topic between now and then, and if you have any topics you want thrown at us, feel free. Like I said, we're all open for questions. JR and I are both down here in North Carolina. John is in Indiana, and we have Sean in Nebraska. So, they're in the Midwest, we're in the Southeast, so we can also travel as well. So, just a heads up, depending on how JR and I's little expedition goes in a couple weeks, we may have to delay one of the shows a day unless we do it right from your place, JR. So yeah, just throw that out there. So wish us luck, everybody.
We can sit together with our shirts off. It don't bother me, man.
Whatever you want to do, buddy. Whatever you want to do.
Oh man, you crack me up, JR.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well, all right, guys. Good session. And I'll get with y'all later, and I'm gonna send y'all a couple pictures right now. And meanwhile, I'm gonna figure out how to do screen shares on this thing all over again. I had it down yesterday, but like I said, too many boats that I had over the years. I seem to have forgotten since yesterday. So anyway, with that being said, we are out for the evening. Everyone have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys.
Good night, you guys. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Always is. Look forward to it.